We've reached the end of the season, we've had our youth intake, and we've actually had one player that excites me a lot, even if I don't think he's really going to make it. Tamas Mazaros is a good young centre-back who I think could become quite good if he's given the game time, ignoring the inconsistency since that can improve over time. Though he's already made some improvements, I'm not expecting him to become outstanding long term. Also, the fact he's a 1.5 star current ability player at the age of 16 is promising, though at the same time, I'm kind of expecting him not to reach his full potential with us anyway, since we are going to be trying to improve the team very quickly. That being said, Gabriel Balao is the other player that could have potential, also inconsistent, and has a bad personality, so not amazing, but not terrible either. Having 15 finishing is always decent, as well as the 40 acceleration and 14 pace. That being said, we've had a few games since we last met. We've gotten to the end of the season. How do we get on? The first game we had was against BVSC. We beat them 4-0. We got the opening goal inside 2 minutes, because Kotsis does this. A very good start for us, and I'm delighted by how things are going. And then we made it 2-0 inside 3 minutes. This is when I knew things were going our way, when we're 2-0 up inside the first 3 minutes. And we got the last 2 goals in the first half as well, making it 3-0 with this effort, and good finishing either way. We then got a penalty, and Luis gets his second of the game to kill the game off. A very good performance, and a game that we probably didn't deserve to win by 4-0, but what can you do if they're not up to standards? We then took a Tisakisuke and beat them 2-1. We did take the lead, much to nobody's surprise really, but we had 2 injuries. I think we had 2 injuries or someone else. It was 2 injuries between the entire team. Though we scored the second goal to get lucky. They get a goal back later on, but at the end of the day, by this point, it wasn't going to make much of a difference, though it could have done much worse. We win by 2-1 to get another 3 points, and yes, we did have 2 injuries, a striker and a right back. The injury to our right back was not great. He suffered damaged critical ligaments and is still out for 6 weeks to 4 months, even though he got the injury 3 months ago. We then took on Hadadas and lost 2-0, so clearly the injuries kind of affected me and the players more than I was expecting. 38 minutes in, we were 1-0 down. They then score in the first minute of the second half from this corner, and for whatever reason, Hadadas have done the league dub over us, and I don't like it. Why has this team become my bogey team? We then took an Ica and only drew 1-1 despite taking the lead inside the first 5 minutes. This was a good finish from our strong striker, who almost got intercepted and lost the ball, though we could see it from this free kick in the first half. In the first minute of the game, we just didn't deal with it, and it was very disappointing. We actually potentially got away with one here as well, so should we be concerned? We then took Krasny Bartica and beat them 4-0 to win 10-2 over the 2 league games against us this year. This was a very good finish, and we, going into this game, had not been very good in front of goal, or at least in performances, but then we scored the goal here to make it 2-0, and literally in the first 5 minutes, we score a second goal. So that's a good finish from Barath, and it's 3-0 with that effort, and we get a goal late on from another corner, because apparently we're good from corners. This was a bit more luckier, and we get another good victory. So I'm happy with the scoreline that we got. We then took a Gmod and only got a 1-1 draw. This was a bit disappointing, since I thought we could do better than this, and Cox's getting the opening goal was good. It's just a shame we couldn't hold on to win, having let this counter-attack hit us in the 80th minute of the game. And when they get the equaliser in the 81st minute, it's a very simple finish. We're not stopping that, no matter how good you are. And to drop 2 points here was a shame. We then took a Chakfari and beat them 2-1 despite going behind in the 3rd minute thanks to that incredible free kick. Equalising in the 9th minute was great. And then, well, that's a great cross. Babel is not missing that sort of effort. And we complete the turnaround in the 70th minute of the game to win the match. Barra finds Babel, who gets his second of the game. A very good finish and a delightful result. Their free kick was the only shot they had on target, and fair play to them. That is the best goal scored against us all season. We then took a Beatty and only drew 0-0, despite the fact they had no shots on goal, and we had an XG of 3.68 because apparently we're pretty bad at times. This was a bit embarrassing from my point of view. So many shots taken and no goals from it. I genuinely couldn't believe my eyes, and I was thinking, how on earth could we let something like this happen? We then took a Vasas, and despite winning 5-2, we're 2-0 down very early on. Radu with this goal to open the score inside the first 16 minutes. We then conceded again, 21 minutes in this time. And when this was happening, I was thinking, wow, we're literally going to boss over the league potentially when Radu scores his second of the game. Then we complete the turnaround in the first half. We admittedly get very lucky with the fact that they were very poor with their possession, and BaN gets the goal back. But the equaliser? Well, this is it. A delightful pass here from Kovacs. He finds Bosse, he finds Barath, and Barath scores with a shot that goes in off the bar. We then complete the turnaround in the first half, and it was great. Barath involved again. Boxe this time getting a goal, and we're 3-2 up, having turned a 2-goal lead on its head. And then we decide, you know what? We don't like the fact you took a 2-goal lead. We're going to make you lose by more. BaN with that effort to make it 4-2, and then we made it 5. This is a delightful performance, and I'm delighted by how well we did. BaN with a hat-trick to his name. So I thought, you know what? It's a really good finish. To come from 2-0 down to win this game by 5-2 really showed the character of the team and told me what I needed to know. And at the time, Vasas were our closest challengers, so this was a delightful win. Neo and Chazza were our next opponent, and we beat them by 3-1. We were 3-0 up in this game at one point, but Barath scored the opening goal. And when we start to get in full flow, we know what we're looking for. Boxe finds Kovacs. Kovacs scores this effort to double our lead. Turns out I was wrong. We didn't have a 3-goal lead. We let it get to 2-1. Nemeth with the goal here to make things uncomfortable, but we made sure we doubled our lead again with this attempt. Kovacs finds Coxis plays it across. He finds BaN, and BaN is on the form of his life right now. 2 goals in the last game, a goal in this game. He's absolutely on fire. We then took a Giulietto in a game that if we won, we would be crowned champions, and we won 4-1. Coxis gets the opening goal, but Giulietto actually equalised from this corner, and it's kind of awkward when you're thinking, oh, we're going to win this game, and then we concede. However, once we got this goal back, and this is the best goal we've seen so far, BaN is truly here now. He then scores his penalty to make it 3-1, and in the second half, we make it 4. We're having a very good time, and I am delighted. Kovacs with that finish, and once the game's over, we get the trophy ceremony, and once we are getting this, I feel relieved to know not only have we been promoted, but we are the league champions. A match that we truly deserve to show our credentials. Next year is going to be a fun journey as we get into the top flight for the first time in the save, and get Budapest Honvéd back up to the top flight after just one season in the second tier. Can we do more in the future? And is this a sign of things to come next season? The next game we have against Seafolk, after we got the Guard of Honor at the beginning of the game, we won 2-0. BaN gets the opening goal of the game to completely continue his form, and then we make it 2-0 before the end of the game, and Barath scores again. So I'm happy with this season, and I'm happy with the fact we are continuing to improve our quality. Getting the Guard of Honor before the game was great, and makes me wonder, how well could we have done if we didn't have these silly moments in the match? I'm certain we could do better, though I kind of don't want to know anymore. The main question now is, can we keep the run of form going to make sure we end this season on a high? We then took on Mossa Motolumba and we beat them 3-0. They finished bottom of the table this year and, well, Babel got a hat-trick of goals today as we win by 3-0. A delightful game from our point of view, and the fact he's actually now getting on the end of these corners is even better. It really tells you just how good he can be in the air. Best part is, despite scoring this goal, he could have had a fourth because he actually missed a penalty as well. And honestly, this might be one of the worst penalties I've seen in a very long time. I thought he was going to get his fourth goal of the game, but then he didn't. And it was a bit of a weak effort, which the keeper got to very comfortably. We should have done better there. With an XG of 4.43, how many goals do we want to miss? We finished the season with a 1-1 draw against Segesenad, and we took the lead in this game. And I thought once we took the lead, we're going to finish the season with a win again. However, they scored in the 94th minute of the game to equalise and to still share the spoils. And quite frankly, if Biro misses that, I question his ability to shoot and score, but he didn't. And they deserve to get at least something from the game. They were the better team for a lot of the second half, honestly. And quite frankly, I was more concerned about the fact we almost lost. However, we won the league by 12 points in the end to show that we are actually quite good now and that this team is going places. Vasas got second place by 4 points, so we ended up finishing 16 points clear of third place, so we're never in danger of missing out on promotion. As we review the season, we got that beautiful, beautiful trophy. Honestly, one of the nicest trophies I've ever seen. We only made 2 signings, both on loans, so we're probably not going to get either player back next year, which is a bit of a shame, but the board and fans love them, so happy days. But yeah, season review, we only had 38% of our home attendance field, which it's not terrible, but it's not great either. And the fact we won the league so comfortably is very good. The fact we only got to the 4th round of the cup, though, was a bit disappointing. Especially knowing that we got knocked out by a 3rd tier side. Biggest win was our 6-2 win in September. Match, remember, was the victory against Vasas. And the goal of the season was Kovac's first goal for us, which we scored very early on. And yes, this goal I kind of remember, not 100% sure, but I think it was a very good finish. First time effort. I will say I'm surprised Babel did not get the goal of the season with his effort, but I guess I don't understand the decision any more than they do, but there you go. Finances, we're not really paying attention much to these at the moment because we're not on the top flight, and also because it's the first season, we can't really compare to anything else. How we learned it was this, and the fact we only had, what, a handful of players that didn't get above a 6.9 rating is great. Not ideal that we did have players missing out on it, but it is what it is. But Babel getting the fans player of the season is good. A 7.2 average rating and 20 goals was delightful. 6 player of the match awards as well. And Bertrand Bosque, we managed to convince to sign a new contract. He got the young player of the season and the most assists, so delightful to say the least there. Gonoki Kiss completed the most passes per 90. He actually got a very nasty injury towards the end, a fractured lower leg, so he might miss the beginning of the season, and we might need to replace him going into the next season. 32 years of age, and only a 2nd tier player, we might need to work on that. All the records down here, we're not going to pay much attention to them. All the records down here, we're not going to really pay much attention, though we have got to pay attention to the fact that Thomas Tuchel did become the oldest player for the club, which is a record that I don't see finishing and being broken anytime soon. But yes, we're delighted with the season. Everything was won and lost in the heart of every season, and that's been the case for Budapest Honvéd as they celebrate winning promotion. And if we look at the manager timeline, we're happy with this. It's going quite well. And yes, it's pretty much the lowest playable league to the top playable league. That's why we've got the rise for the league thing turning up at all. So it's not that we've done the rise to the lowest league to the top league. It's more the fact there's only 2 leagues playable. So there you go. Supporter profile, we gained another 2.3 thousand followers. The 2.3 thousand fans mostly went into the fair weather, so there's not as many casuals anymore. And they wanted to play entertaining football, defensively solid football, and counter-attacking football, and to be competitive against our 2 main rivals. Ferencváros and Budapest, so that could be fun. However, they also want us to develop players using the club's youth system. And as we look at the club vision and expectations, they only want us to attempt to avoid relegation while playing counter-attacking and defensively solid football, and developing players using the club youth system. Final stat, this is actually the Champions Budapest Honvéd season stats, which we only would have been given if we had won the league, so a very, very good thing. Drink all the stats in. I won't be going over them myself, but allow yourselves to drink all of these stats in. And jumping forward, we actually got some more things happening. We got a new sponsorship deal. We've also got hit by a tax bill. And we've got the new commercial summer, which we actually got £1.3 million from our sponsors coming through, which is absolutely delightful. We also got given this message, which I've not seen before because it's new and I've not been promoted in FM24 yet. So the fact I now know this is a thing is interesting. The average ticket price has gone up by £1, and the average season ticket price has gone up by an extra £16. So it'll hurt us short term by 8%, but long term might help us out going forward if we're able to stay promoted and do good things in the future. I actually don't know if this will help us or not, but if we can get the extra money and we don't lose that long term, then this is great, hopefully. I just don't know if this is going to be the case or not. That being said, apparently we lost some money from the sponsorship income, which I don't believe, to be honest with you, but I could always be wrong. But yeah, for the most part, apparently our main kit is losing money, and we're going to get some general sponsorship money from that business. So we gained about £1 million, maybe more than that, from the sponsorship income. In fact, I can just show you this. So sponsorship, we actually only gained 800,000. So I didn't actually have as much money as I thought. So maybe I was wrong. But we're now in a good financial position, £1.5 million, with a transfer budget, which I forgot to show you, of £890,000. And our wage budget has also doubled as well to £68,000 a week. So we can go spending in the summer and do good things, to say the least. Which is probably a good thing since I went over my new season team report. And according to our backroom staff, we are the weakest team in the top flight next year, which doesn't bode well for our potential future, but okay. Should I be worried for next year? I don't think I should be. I've got the money to spend to bring in better players, that's for certain. But what I'm going to be doing is ending this here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys would like and share this video, and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. We might be doing a lot of transfer moves in the summer, though I actually don't know how much I'll be doing just yet. But anyway, until next time, goodbye, and well, good night.